Just tell us the truth. Open the files. Show us the craft. Okay, but I don't think people have really thought about what happens after the government finally says, yeah, aliens are real, and we've known for like decades. That would be the easy part. Imagine tomorrow morning, you're drinking coffee, eating breakfast, checking your phone, and every station suddenly cuts to the White House. The president walks up to the podium with generals, scientists, intelligence officers, and several people in the background who look like they haven't slept since Roswell. Then he says, "Ladies and gentlemen, the United States government can confirm that non-human intelligence exists, and part of the government has known about it for many years. Your coffee is going down the wrong pipe right now. CNN is losing its mind. Fox is just normal. TikTok already has a dance called Disclosure Shuffle. A YouTuber uploads, 'Aliens confirmed! I knew this in 2017!' and somehow gets 6 million views before the press conference is even over. Facebook would become absolute chaos. Your uncle would post a blurry picture from 1994 and say, 'Everybody laughed at me.' It's a street light. Then somebody asks a question that completely changes everything. 'How long have you known?' I would imagine they say 80 years. Now people are doing the math. 'Wait, you knew before my father was born?' Then comes, which president knew? Did Truman know? Did Eisenhower? Kennedy? Nixon? Reagan? Clinton? Bush? Obama? And the rest? Did some presidents know everything while others got government versions of 'don't worry about it'? Imagine being president and asking, 'Can I see the alien files?' 'No, sir.' 'I'm the president.' 'That's great.' 'No.' Now Congress gets involved. And if you think congressional hearings are confusing now, just wait until someone asks an Air Force general whether extraterrestrials need passports. You know it's coming. They would say, 'General, have these beings entered the United States legally?' 'Senator, they may be capable of interstellar travel. Please answer the question.' Another senator would ask whether they pay taxes. Someone would want to know whether they can vote. One person would somehow connect the entire thing to potholes in Ohio. Meanwhile, the scientist who spent 40 years studying astrophysics is sitting there thinking, 'I should have stayed in the lab.' Then the abductees, the alien abductees, start calling. This is where things get serious. Thousands of people have claimed over the years that they have experienced missing time, strange encounters, unusual medical procedures, marks on their bodies, or memories of being taken somewhere. Most of these claims have never been verified. But if the government suddenly admits that non-human intelligence really exists, every one of those people is going to have questions. Imagine Frank. Frank has spent 40 years telling his family something happened to him. Every Thanksgiving they make jokes. 'Don't let Frank sit near the window. The aliens might come.' Then disclosure happens. Frank slowly puts down his fork. Nobody is laughing. Frank looks around the table and says, 'I want apologies in alphabetical order.' Aunt Linda is suddenly very interested in her mashed potatoes. Then people start calling government agencies. 'Hello, I'd like to report an abduction.' 'Yes, when did this happen?' 1978. Some poor 22-year-old employee is staring at the computer thinking, 'I should have taken that job at Costco.' Then comes the really uncomfortable question. If the government knew these aliens existed, did they know anything about the alleged abductions? Imagine someone standing before Congress saying, 'I've been claiming for 30 years that I was taken. Did you know this was happening to me?' If the government says no, people will demand proof. If the government says yes, people are going to ask, 'Then what exactly were you doing about it?' Then somebody would ask, 'Did anyone die because of this?' Ooh. Families want records. Journalists start digging. Congress starts demanding files. Reddit has already solved 17 murders before lunch. Then the farmers get involved. For decades, ranchers have reported strange livestock deaths, sometimes called cattle mutilations. Many probably had ordinary explanations, but imagine if disclosure reveals that the government had information connected to even some of them. A rancher hears this announcement and immediately looks outside at his cows, then back at the television, then back at the cows. Son of a... He's already calling somebody. 'Yeah, remember that cow from 1986? I'd like my money back.' Imagine thousands of farmers filing claims. The government would need an entirely new department, the Office of Extraterrestrial Livestock Reimbursement. Some employees spend all day reviewing 40-year-old pictures. What happened to this cow? Possible unexplained event. And this one, lightning. And this, that's a goat. And then the lawyers arrive. Of course they do. You know the commercials are coming. Were you or a loved one abducted, probed, threatened, discredited, monitored, and emotionally inconvenienced by non-human intelligence between 1947 and Tuesday? You may be entitled to compensation. Operators are standing by. Then imagine the cover-up itself gets investigated. Were witnesses threatened? Were careers destroyed? Were people told to shut up? Were false stories deliberately planted? If someone comes forward and says, my job was to intimidate witnesses, they might receive immunity for cooperating. Legally, maybe they're protected. Publicly, good luck going to the grocery store. You're trying to buy cereal and somebody in aisle 4 recognizes you from CNN. Hey, that's the UFO intimidation guy. Then the defense contractors get dragged into it. For decades, people have claimed that certain aerospace companies might have received unusual materials or technology from secret programs. Imagine disclosure proves one company actually had something extraordinary. Every competing company immediately calls its lawyers. Wait a minute, they got a spaceship, apparently. What did we get? A contract to redesign a seatbelt. Now everybody wants to know who got access, who made money, whether taxpayers paid for it, whether patents came from it, and whether anybody privately profited from technology that didn't even come from Earth. And people ask about energy. This might create some of the biggest anger of all. People paying massive electric bills are going to ask whether something cheaper or cleaner was sitting inside a classified warehouse for 50 years. Imagine opening your $500 electric bill while watching Disclosure. You're going to become very interested in transparency. Excuse me, I've been paying this every month while somebody had a gravity machine in Nevada? Even if no miracle energy source existed, people would still demand answers. Then medicine comes up. If biological material was ever studied, people would ask whether anything was learned. Could it help with cancer research, neurological disease, regeneration, aging? Every family who lost somebody would want to know whether useful discoveries had been hidden. Imagine the government saying, we studied ET biology for 60 years, but unfortunately nothing medically useful came from it. Nobody's accepting that sentence without receipts. Then the scientists get their turn. Imagine being a physicist who spent 30 years studying propulsion and somebody finally wheels a recovered craft into your laboratory. Here it is! How does it work? We were hoping you would tell us. You've had this since 1953. Yes. And you're asking me now? Yes. I'm taking the rest of the day off. Universities would immediately create new programs, non-human biology, advanced propulsion, extraterrestrial communication. Some college kid tells his father he's majoring in alien studies. For the first time in history, Dad can't say, you'll never get a job in that degree. Then religion gets involved. I actually think most religions would adapt better than people expect, but the conversations would still be hilarious. Father, does God know aliens exist? I would hope so. It would be extremely awkward if God found out through CNN. Then somebody starts an alien religion within 48 hours. Membership costs $19.99 a month. Premium members get a Galactic Enlightenment certificate. Human beings waste absolutely no time. Alien t-shirts, alien coffee mugs, alien vitamins, authentic galactic mineral powder. It's dirt. It's dirt. Some guy got it behind Home Depot. 20,000 people buy it though. 5-star reviews. I can definitely feel the frequency. Within the week, there would be alien dating apps. Star-crossed. Potential match 4.2 light years away. Then society runs into a much bigger problem. Once one impossible sounding thing turns out to be true, people start believing every impossible sounding thing. Aliens exist. Confirmed. Recovered technology. Maybe. That's where things could get dangerous, because real evidence and complete nonsense would get mixed together very quickly. Every strange event becomes suspicious. Power outage. Aliens! Wi-Fi goes down. Cover up. DoorDash forgets your fries. Deep state! Nobody knows what's happening anymore. Then we get to the international part. America says it recovers something. Russia says it has something too. China says nothing for 3 days. Everybody immediately assumes China has 12. Now every country wants to know what everybody else has. Who recovered what? Who reverse engineered something? Does anyone have working technology? Could it become a weapon? Congratulations, humanity just invented an alien arms race. Then somebody finally asked a question that might be bigger than everything else. Have we communicated with them? Have we communicated? If the answer is yes, people will want to know exactly what was said. What do they want? What do we want? Who represented humanity? Imagine finding out one government official spoke for the entire human race. You told them what? If any agreement existed, people would ask who authorized them, what was promised, and whether ordinary citizens were affected. Again, those would be extraordinary claims requiring extraordinary evidence, but once disclosure happens, the pressure to investigate them would be enormous. That's why I don't think disclosure would simply be somebody walking up to a microphone and saying, aliens are real. That announcement might take 5 minutes. The mess afterwards could last 50 years. Eventually, I can almost imagine the aliens sitting somewhere watching all of this unfold. Congress is arguing, lawyers are filing lawsuits, people are fighting on Facebook. Galactic coin has crashed 96%. Someone is selling alien vitamins on TikTok. The aliens look at each other and say, see, this is why we don't land. And that's the part of disclosure I think people underestimate. Finding out we're not alone would change our understanding of the universe. Finding out what human beings may have done while keeping that secret could become an even bigger story. Because once disclosure happens, people aren't just going to look up into the sky. They're going to turn around, look directly at the people who already knew, and ask, okay, now explain everything.